Duke fans, welcome back to another installment of the pod. We are coming off a very disheartening and disappointing, disgusting loss to the UConn Huskies up in Connecticut. Duke drops the game 37 to 34. Um, Not a whole lot of bright spots to build off of here, but if there are any positives to take away, we're still in the driver's seat with the ACC. I don't know how or why this is happening, why the other ACC teams are giving me hope right now, but the the seas have parted and there's still a alley, there's still an avenue in the
Yeah.
ACC. That being said, we got to talk about UConn first. We got to dive in deep. Tyler, you haven't been here in a couple weeks, so I'm gonna let you talk first about this game.
Yeah, look, I get in the grand scheme of things, this game was irrelevant, right? Like, I understand that. And my issue isn't with Duke losing, because, here's the thing. If Duke wins this game, 45 to 20, but Duke's going 100% and Nate Shepard gets hurt, then everyone's pissed, like, oh, why are you trying so hard against UConn when you've got, the ACC in front of you still? It's the fact that, there was just no, care at all, just undisciplined penalties. We're going to go into some of the stuff like guys not touching the ball. Just it, it felt like Duke was completely checked out.
Fights
And
on
but
kickoffs.
yeah, it just the fake punt again. Jesus Christ, they were even ready for the fake punt this time, and we still just let them get it. So I mean, it's frustrating. Doesn't hurt the season. I mean, it hurts, but at this point, it's ACC or ACC championship game or bust, and this game didn't have an outcome on that. So really, it's not that bad. There's a lot of bad things in the game that we saw that's happened all year, and this was like the perfect chance to, hey, if we lose this game, but we fix some of those issues that we've seen, I can live with that. But this was like the culmination of every issue we've seen all year.
Yeah, I'm quite on the just train of you play every game to win the fucking game. Duke must have just decided to not practice all week, just sit around and jerk each other off, I guess. It was disgusting. I mean, we go back. I've watched this team lose to fucking Wheel Healy and UNC Charlotte. I've seen us get beat by Richmond, you know what I mean?
Ah,
But
ah.
I expected those teams to lose those fucking football games. And here we are in the big 2-5 with all this money, $8 million contracts, one of the higher paid coaches in the ACC, all these big time guys we pull in, all this hype coming off of beating one of the worst Clemson teams ever. And what do? Against UConn, against Storrs, Connecticut, against our fellow basketball school. This pretty much cemented that we're just no different than UConn, in my mind. I'm a lot more angry, and I think a lot of people will be about this loss. I'm sick and tired of seeing shit like this happen. It's demoralizing to a point. You're a better football team. You have more funds. You have more, resources around you. Everything that Duke has, talent wise, resource wise, everything else is supposed to be better. And you get your ass beat for 4 quarters. You get punked by a G5 that lost to Rice. I can't, there's no excuses for me. I don't want to win the ACC. I don't think Duke deserves to win the ACC. Losing to UConn might not matter in that scope, but it tarnishes the season. I'll still be there and I'll still cheer for him. But we're playing for a fucking wasabi bowl. And that's my spill.
That's best case. Dude, you're so spot on with that. I'm in the same boat. I'm fully aware that this game has nothing to do with our ACC hopes at all. The problem is we still lost to UConn. So why the hell am I going to have faith in beating UVA, Wake, hell, even Carolina when we just 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 shit the bed against UConn? We're 0-2 this year against non-P4 teams. That's insane. And it's again, no bearing on the ACC. Great, whatever. I'm sick of hearing that argument. I'm sick of hearing about injuries. I'm sick of hearing about whatever. It's comical at this point. It's comical at this point. And going back to the worst Clemson team ever thing, I'm just gonna say it. There's a lot of Clemson fans on the timeline who were bitter this past week, saying that like we were acting like it was our Super Bowl. Honestly, they weren't entirely wrong. I could have done without all those Clemson posts. A couple, yeah, sure, great. Cinematic recap, beautifully done, but maybe not the most necessary thing in the world. We should have stopped posting about the Clemson game and even thinking about the Clemson game by Wednesday of last week. This had all the makings of a Super Bowl hangover, World Series hangover, whatever you want to call it. Unreal. Um, anything anybody else wants to touch on before we get into numbers?
I've got a couple of things that'll deal with stats that I just want to point out, as Tyler kind of mentioned. Certain things we've seen repetitively happen over and over and over again, and we've pointed them out over and over and over again. I'm going to start defensively. The soft zone coverage, and I get it. We might not be the most talented group back there. We might not be the fastest. Well, we're sure not the fastest. We're probably not the strongest, probably just not the most talented. That's okay. That doesn't mean you just got to sit there and take it. I mean, you can take the fight to them. We sit there, we run that bullshit soft zone so many times. And finally, Duke's like, okay, not working anymore. Packy's like, well, what am I going to do? So what does Duke do? We get into a palms coverage where the safety and the corner are reading off the 1 and 2 receiver on which one they're going to cover. Two receiver goes out, they jam, safety comes over the top, takes a two, one goes in. Vice versa for the other way. We can't even play basic palms coverage without our best corner, Chandler Rivers, being 8.5 yards behind some dude named Skyler was a 2-star recruit out of Massachusetts. I'm running out of excuses. The scheme is awful. What more? Can we change anything? I get it. The talent and the injuries and everything the secondaries had to go through, the youthfulness, all that. At some point, you just got to throw the kitchen sink at the problem. And I'm not seeing us do that.
It's exactly like you said last week, Noah. Like we heard from some folks in the stands, and I fully agree. I'd rather go aggressive man and do the classic havoc defense that we saw last year and potentially get burned on one play for 60 yards for a touchdown, then do the soft zone bullshit and grind out 6 plays for 10 yards apiece for a touchdown and wear the hell out of the defense. I'd
Yep.
much rather the first option. Tyler, thoughts? What are you thinking?
Well, that's like the secondary is going to get a lot of blame, and somewhat rightfully so. But like, where was the defensive line?
Oh yeah, we haven't seen pressure all year.
Oh yeah, there's every group has a lot of
It
issues right now.
it was extremely prevalent this past game, where like 2 sacks, and like it doesn't help when we're playing 13 yards off of the defenders or off the receivers, but like when you give a quarterback 15 seconds to throw, our defense isn't built to cover guys for 15 seconds. Um, so like it's just all around like bad. Like
Yeah,
VJ, West had a few tackles, but like VJ was on the milk carton this game. Like
his aunt's gonna be pissed.
and like it's UConn. Clemson, okay, I can live with us having 2 or 3 sacks against Clemson because at the end of the day, they're still probably bigger, stronger, more physical than we are in the trenches. UConn's working us in the trenches. That's a Feely
Dude,
problem,
wasn't
and
Elon
we
working us
love
in the
Feely.
trenches too?
There's also a little vice versa. Our offensive line, as great as they might have played so far this year, Larson and Craycraft were getting absolutely bullied by UConn's defensive front. It was bad,
Abused?
abused. Shout out to Pickett and Parker because like they were holding it down, but like Larson ended up getting subbed out like 3 different times.
Yeah, it's like
Craycraft we can't sub out, but like still, there was some in our pass blocking with the running backs. Like I love Castle and Shep to death, but that can't go unnoticed either. They were blocking air. When we were missing everything, it was just a culmination
Yeah,
of the
dude.
worst week of prep you could have ever dreamed of from the coaching staff.
Mensa was underdressed all night long. And honestly, we saw it in the stats. Mensa had, I think to this point, his worst game as a Blue Devil.
Oh, by
But he's
far,
it's what was that?
by far.
But the funny thing is the stat. I mean, it's not a good stat line. It's a bad stat line, but it's still not as awful as we've seen from other games in the last couple of years. 22 of 31, which I think is around like a 70% completion rating. I might be wrong here. 222 yards, three TDs, two picks. Was one of those a pit? Was a tip? I can't recall.
Yeah, one of
It
them.
wasn't a like a receiver tip.
Yeah, one of them it got bad. The other interception was again like Mensa wasn't the problem, but
Yeah,
the second interception he threw was one of the worst throws I've ever seen.
It
yeah.
was
Was
Chase Bryce-esque.
was
Yeah,
Mensa? Did he have a bad game? Yes. Was he the reason we lost? No.
Nope.
This
well,
we're playing UConn. Under no circumstances should a subpar performance from our quarterback, who's been a pillar of this offense all year, be the reason we lose. We should still have the talent and the ability to overcome that. I
well
mean,
that
there are times like Joe Montana threw three interceptions against the Cowboys when the catch happened. Good teams overcome that, you know?
well the thing is like I put it out after the game I from my own account, but I was like Duke scored 34 points at the end of the day. Like despite like we're gonna get into some other stuff with the offense that like was bad, but at the end of the day, 34 points should always be enough to win.
Yeah,
Hmm.
especially against UConn.
Like you shouldn't be
21 should be enough for UConn.
yeah. Oh, and even last week, like Duke had to put up 50 to beat Clemson, a Clemson team that hadn't scored 28 points all season, and we
It's
had
the
to get 50.
defense. It all ties back to the defense.
So like the offense, we get to the point now where if the offense doesn't score on every drive, well, we're fucked.
Pretty scary. And this is the same defense that held Georgia Tech to no touchdowns until like the fourth quarter, which is crazy. But
I don't
all
get
that
it.
to say, offensive stats. Nate Shepard, 16 carries, 100 yards, two TDs. Tyler, no, Noah, talk to us about this whole Nate Shepard debacle that we had this past weekend and
Well,
some of the scandal.
yeah, you would think with that stat line, damn good game, right? And it technically is. Nate Shepard, after starting the game, pretty much all that came in the first quarter. Um, you know, was pulled and was not used for over a quarter, I believe. Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was over a quarter of play. Um,
Yeah, give or take.
to the point of which our All American, probably first team All American running back, true freshman All American, is got family members online, asking, what the hell's going on? Why are we abandoning what's working? And a lot of times I get it. Everybody's like, "Oh, parents are just going to talk for their kids." Well, when the opinion is correct, you got to listen to them. They ain't just homering for their son. They're homering for the right thing, which is an established run game that we could have beat UConn by 30 fucking plus points, ran time of possession the whole game, and just shoved it down their throat. And we were like, absolutely the fuck not. Let's do what we do here. Jonathan Brewer ball. Disgusting. It's putrid. If you don't want to fire Infante, Brewer, and Packy right now, I don't know if you're a real Duke fan.
That's the problem with this fan base, dude. That's the problem with this fan base. They don't want to have accountability.
Nope.
Well, and on the Brewer subject, here's the thing with him. And I said this, earlier today in one of our group chats, but it's like you look at last year, the offense was bland, unimaginative. Looking back, you can kind of see some of the reasons why. This year, it feels like he's just getting bailed out by Mensa and Barkate 90% of the time.
And Shepard when he has him in the game.
Like even the fourth and goal call, you finally line up under center. You're on the one inch line. You call a play action rollout and throw it to the back corner, and it damn near didn't work. Thank God Mensa threw like the perfect pass.
Landon 1 yard line merchant
Like
king.
Landon, my king.
Yeah, he's good in the red zone, man.
I just
But no,
like
yet again, like Tyler's saying right there, we've saw success on some crazy ass third and long, fourth and long calls, or like third, not sorry, not long, short, fourth and one, third and one, and we run the just most odd thing you wouldn't think of. But, most of the time those plays haven't been wide open. It's been a product of Mensa and Andrell, or like you said, Mensa and Cooper. And, it's not going to work all the time. And you got to find consistency somewhere. And we refuse to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Other stats, Castle had 8 carries for 43 yards. That's averaging over 5 yards a carry, so pretty solid day there. Again, just a matter of probably not feeding him enough. Jaquez Moore had a little bit of a legacy game here. Unk still got it. 5 carries for 22 yards. That's averaging a little over 4 yards a carry. Uh, Hazley for, I mean Jeremiah Hazley. I mean what a dog.
Yeah.
Just we've always known that he's good, but like the last couple weeks especially have just been unreal performances out of him, and it's
Well,
been a
and
thing to watch.
yet again, another example of Brewer. Where's it been all year?
Yeah, yeah.
Like Gary hasn't been hurt. Like where's this been all year?
Jerry.
You mean to tell me that he can do that against Clemson and UConn, but we didn't trust him to do it against
Like a
Elon
Tulane.
or
Tulane?
Tulane.
Come on.
Yeah, look at this. 4 receptions, 61 yards with a TD. That's averaging over 15 yards of reception. 15 yards of reception, and he only gets four. Queso, Quishon Brown, another absolute dog this year. 5 receptions for 61 yards. That's averaging over 12 yards of reception. Barkate, 5 receptions for 50 yards. Hagens, 2 for 23. These guys are all averaging well over 10 yards a carry, or sorry, reception, and just aren't getting enough targets. Andrew Anthony, 4 receptions for 21 yards with a TD. Shepard only had 1 reception for 5 yards. That was a bit concerning, like Tyler pointed out, because he's been pretty good out of the backfield in the passing game this year. He just didn't get fed enough this year or this game.
I mean, like, and the other thing is, and I'll comment on this because I ate my words about it in the group chat during the game. I had called out Mensa for not running a lot, and he finally in the second half he had like if you look at the stats because they factor in sacks as against rushing yards in college, so it's a little off. But I mean, he probably had 20 rushing yards in the second half.
Yeah, he looked good.
Like he
Yeah.
kept like he pulled the ball multiple times and took off with it. And if he'll do that more these last few games, that opens up, a little bit more for the offense. But I don't I don't have reason to believe after watching him do it for one half compared to the whole year that we're going to see that continue. But that's just something to note, possibly.
Yeah. Oh, it's just like we said, like when hell, we said it on the pod almost a year ago when he transferred to Duke, said he's not a running quarterback. He can run if he has to, but he's not a running first quarterback. You can call us a lot of things, but you can't call us liars. Um, Moving to the defensive side of the ball, Deshaun Stone, 6 tackles. Weaver had 5 tackles, 1 sack. Rivers had 5 tackles. Freeman, 5 tackles, 3 pass breakups. Francois, 4 tackles, including 2 tackles for loss. Both Wesley Williams and Luke Murgott had 4 tackles, and Josiah Green had 3 tackles and 1 sack. Only 2 sacks on the day, though. Noah, talk to us about that.
Well, yeah, 2 sacks, glaring issue considering like UConn's offensive line's not full of five, All Americans or anything like that. But what stood out to me more was just bad tackling yet again. And you see it in the numbers. A lot of guys with 5, 6 tackles max, a lot of broken tackles on some of them scoring plays, a lot of misses in the secondary, a lot of whiffs. And, the D line, I feel like we touched on the secondary quite a bit, but the D line, we just lacked the urgency. And yet again, there was no scheme for him. I felt like no blitz packages, nothing exotic, trying to switch things up. When we did apply pressure on Fagnano, he struggled. I mean, we got a couple of sacks there towards there in the second half, blitzing some corners, safeties, outside linebackers. But it's like, do it consistently, man. Like if we're gonna get beat up in the secondary, quit throwing extra dudes back there to also get burnt. Like blitz them. Like let's try and speed the game up some.
Yeah, no doubts. No doubts.
I
Uh,
put something in real quick, Eli. Um,
okay, Tyler.
God, Tyler,
going in,
whatever.
like, so fucking stupid.
Stupid.
Um, like going back to the drive, UConn scores the go ahead touchdown, the last one. I get Chandler Rivers didn't have the best day, right? Like even Chandler struggled in coverage. They throw a touchdown to Skylar Bell on third or it was after a fourth down conversion. They throw a touchdown to Skylar Bell. Landon Callahan is covering the only dude that was burning us. No disrespect to Landon Callahan. In that situation, you don't have your best player on their best player.
Wasn't that an issue against Clemson too? Or am I tripping?
I'll be honest with you, I don't remember much about that.
But for the sake of it, let's just say it was.
Yeah, yeah.
It adds
Safe
up.
to, safe to
And the
assume that probably was
and the
the
big one of the bigger kick in the balls with that play was they didn't like motion into it to get like Skylar off of Rivers and onto the other side of the field. Like Duke just came up lined up in it, was like beat us, and then UConn was like, we fucking will.
They were like, they can't be serious.
They were slobbering. They were like, you're kidding me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because I mean that's what I've been talking about. What the hell happened to this havoc defense that we had last year? Again, don't get me wrong. I know we're down some guys. I mean, Terry Moore's been out since before the season started. Morris is out. We don't have guys like Ozzie Nicholas, Alex Howard, Cam Bergeron, Ryan Smith, Joshua Pickett. I mean, my God, with the things I would do to have all those guys back right now. I never thought I'd be saying I'd be on my hands and knees begging for Joshua Pickett to come back, but here we are.
Here I am begging.
Man,
well,
we really had Alex Howard and Ozzie Nicholas last year, man. We
well,
had
but
our
that,
starting. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry if I don't stop talking about
well, that's
this.
the thing. You go back to last year, and you go back to our once again, we don't lie. If you go back and watch our position previews, we said the secondary was young. Like we lost a lot. It might not have been great talent, but it was experience. Like you can't simulate game reps.
Yeah,
And the defensive line was going to have to bail out the secondary a lot, and pressure the quarterback to help them. And outside of BJ, for the most part, the defensive line just hasn't done anything like all year. So it's the secondary isn't getting the help they need, but they're also they're already struggling, and it just makes it worse when the defensive line can't help them at all.
that's just it. It's a double-edged sword. It's our defensive line for whatever reason is not getting the pressure that they used to, and in hindsight, or not in hindsight, but that's leading to our already struggling secondary not getting the help that they need, and they have to cover for a lot more time. So it's a nasty problem we got going on. And I don't know how exactly to fix it, but um, Duke held UConn to 3 of 12 on third downs, which that's probably Duke's best game of the year in that aspect, aside from like Elon maybe, because Duke is kind of struggling on third down defense this year, but holding a team to 3 of 12 is pretty solid. Um, Special teams, Tyler put this in the doc, but I agree. I've been on this. Samir should have been kick returning the last couple of years. He should have been our kick and punt returner 22, 3, 4, and all of this year. That he should have been our guy the whole way. Um, Tyler, talk to us about this fake punt.
I mean, it was just one of these days. Duke's going to get a stop on one of these. I don't know when it'll happen. It'll be joyous, and when it happens, I'm going to celebrate and go crazy. And it wasn't the fact that it was an obvious fake punt this time. Like I don't think anyone was expecting it. Duke was because they were on the field, calling it out, and we still gave it up. Just another direct snap where the guy takes off for 20 yards down the field. Um, it just gets old, man. Like
We cannot have
someone
nice things.
someone sees something in how Duke's lining up for punts or how we're playing these spots to where they're just like, yeah, okay. Like Duke's doing something to invite people to go for it against them on like fake punts.
Yeah.
It's been the exact same thing, a direct snap to the up man. It's not like they're creating like, oh, it's a little pass and this guy slides out, unguarded. No, it's just they snap the ball to the punter or the up man. He just takes off for 20 yards.
Nothing fancy, and it doesn't
Nothing
have to be.
creative.
Like, and like I said, the kick return, like, well, we watched Samir have, 2 punt returns for touchdowns against Georgia Tech one time and decided, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're
Uh,
good. We're good on that.
I will say, though, the
Wool paths.
shout out Francois and Cade because we had one play, I believe it was the first half, where we punted the ball and it looks like it's, UConn does the fake fair catch where everyone kind of stops and slows up. But Jaden kept running and I mean perfectly like catches the ball right on like the 2 yard line.
Yeah, that was pretty ballsy. That was pretty baller. I like that.
If not, it was going to be a touchback. Like so, shout out like finally a bright light in special teams. Todd didn't miss. We got that going for us.
That's two
Todd
weeks
had
in a row now. We
yeah,
called
Todd
it.
hit
Happens this week. We call that a streak.
Lab.
Um, 6 penalties for 63 yards and 3 turnovers. Not good.
tough to win.
Tyler, were you saying something?
Oh, tough. It's tough to win when you do that. Like I think Brian. I think it was Brian of Section 17. Or well, yeah, they're still called that. I forget whatever their new tag is. We hate them anyway. So, um, but I think he had put out that Duke's averaging 70 yards this year in penalties. Think about that.
Really bad. That's
Duke
really bad.
Duke's almost giving up a touchdown essentially worth of penalties every game.
Not gonna
Yeah.
win playing like that.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. It's just stupid shit like getting into it on the on kickoffs and punts and like jumping off sides, and it's just like
Yeah, dude. Will Felder Jr. was playing like a fucking idiot out there, dude. You're on kickoff team. You're a true freshman. Act like it. Quit going out there and trying to bang heads and act like a dumbass and get us 2 penalties. Like that's so stupid.
yeah.
Stupid. David Cutcliffe would have fucking yanked that scholarship. That's for sure.
Who's the guy? Let me look. I'm forgetting his name. I should have had it prepared before we jump on the pod. But there's a dude who I just love to watch on every kickoff.
Bring back
Um,
Doyle.
huh? It's
Bring back
Kobe.
Dennis Doyle. Fuck it.
It's Kobe Smith. Every single kickoff, that boy is flying down the field, ready to take someone's head off, just out there to cause havoc and do nothing more. It's awesome to watch. I'm a big fan of his. Kobe Smith, do yourself a favor. Next time Duke kicks the ball off, watch number 18. He's a beast. He lives. He gets his reps on special teams and he makes every single one count. I love watching him. Um, all right. Guess it's time for mailbag, right?
Yeah, I'm ready to move past this game. I'm
It's
ready to
Yeah.
my
put it behind me.
it's my favorite time of the week. Mailbag. You guys did not disappoint on mailbag this week. And I want to thank everyone who took part in it. We got a lot of questions, and this is a nice, big, juicy mailbag. So everybody sit down, get your popcorn, and buckle up. First question slash comment comes from our friend Bentley Weeks. Just believe, boys. Run the table, Duke. That's it. Whatever. Uh,
Me when I lie on the internet.
yeah, me when I'm high. Um, our friend Drew Cheshire asks, is there a worse third down defense in college football?
Not many of them.
Statistically, there's only 6. But
Yeah.
yes, we are seventh worst in the nation.
Yeah, it's not great. There's that. Our friend Timothy Gonzalez says, it was so disappointing that we lost to UConn. I was listening to the game on the radio. Even Dave Harding was saying that was the wackiest first half, and I totally agree with him. Too many weird calls on both teams. We got to clean up these mistakes because we have 3 huge games coming up. I want our boys to go bowling. With that being said, win or lose, I still believe in my Duke football team. Let's beat UVA. And can someone tell Oh Sweet Bentley to sit down?
Bentley, dude, you're out of control,
Bentley,
man.
sit down.
You gotta
Put down
sit
the
down.
Diet Mountain Dew.
As for everything else, I mean, yeah, as fans, and like people get this so misconstrued. They're just like, you guys hate the football team. Like, nope. I wish they'd win every game by 100. I cheer for them like they will, but I hate the outcomes. And, I think Duke will go bowling this year. I don't necessarily foresee us winning out. It could happen, but, that's just the way the seasons went so far. But I do think we'll go bowling.
That was my call on what did I predict? Let me see if I took a screenshot. I predicted what our season was going to look like how we're going to play out. Let's see. Oh, I didn't screenshot it, but I think I said wins over UVA and Wake and a loss to Carolina. I think that's what I said was going to happen. Um, yeah, we'll see. Tyler, any thoughts, any comments?
I mean, first things first, down in front gently. Um, but I don't know, man. Duke could go, Duke can win out and go 3-0. They could just as easily go 0-3. Like the scary part is, it's what we've all been saying is Duke controls their destiny right now, and
That's what I'm afraid of.
that's a
That's what I'm
terrifying
afraid of.
spot. Most teams would love to be in that spot. As Duke fans, we're terrified of it, and for good reason. Um, in my head, I still I'm at 2-1. I said it all year. We're due to lose to Wake. After watching them against Virginia, Wake's not very good. They're not a good football team. Don't get it twisted. But they just they play so hard and
They're
scrappy.
fast,
And
dude.
they're well coached. They don't make
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
fuck around.
So do I think Duke's going to make it to Charlotte? No. Do I think we're going to get a bowl game? Yes. And I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think this season's a disaster if Duke loses out.
No, we've watched this team go 0-12. There's no end of the world.
If Duke can still get to 7, 8 wins and you win your bowl game, next year's the big year with how our schedule's laid out and everything.
Oh, dude, if we got to 8 wins this year in the regular season, that'd be sick. I'd be perfectly fine with that with the way this season's gone. Winning the next three, hell yeah, give me that. 8-4, I'll take that. That
Seven
gets
and
you a
five,
statue
I
outside of
take it.
Wallace Wade if you do that enough years.
Thanks,
Um,
Tim.
yeah, thanks, Tim. Love you. Our friend Lane Phipps says, I don't even know what to say at this point. That's so Duke. Miami fans were correct. Even if Duke were to try to win out, they'd be playing against the officials. There's no shot in hell that the ACC will allow Duke to get the ACC championship game and risk losing all playoff bids. I know Tyler and Noah and I, preach against the whole ref thing, but I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's saying. It's the same thing as against Carolina in 2023. No way in hell they wanted Grayson Loftus beating Drake May in his senior season. I understand where you're coming from, Lane.
Yeah, I definitely see the point, but I just don't even think Duke's not good enough for the refs to have to step in this year.
Yeah, dude, straight up. We don't need interference from Jim
Refs
Phillips.
love us. They're just like, we ain't gonna sweat this one, boys.
Hey, referees, we're good.
We
We
got
have we
this.
have our own players.
We'll lose on our own.
Well, if anything, the refs have kind of been in Duke's pocket the last 2 weeks.
They kind
Yeah,
of felt
dude.
bad for
Yeah.
us. They're
Like,
starting to give us sympathy calls again, like fucking '06.
And that's where we're at.
I,
Uh
referees aren't a problem. They won't be.
yeah, no, Duke, like we said, Duke controls their own destiny. They'll handle it. We don't have to worry about the referees.
Yeah.
Uh here's a real hard-hitting question. Here's where it starts getting a little bit intense. Jason Rogers, turning up the heat, asks, when it's time, do you think Duke should ask Diaz to leave to prove to the college football world that at Duke we take football seriously?
Yeah, if it happens again next year, we fluke into them. We're 5-4 and with a loss to Tulane again, and whoever. I'd have to start saying at that point, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the whole look, Manny's got some flaws. They've been exposed a lot this year. Calling for his head that look, and I'm Manny. I'm on the fence about, but I'm even if Duke loses out, I'm not on the fire Diaz right away train. Now that being said, I'll be on that train before the season starts. If like there's not some shake up with the staff, like this off season is going to tell me more about where Manny's at and where Duke's at than how this season ends. As far as like how that goes.
I agree. Something has to be done this offseason, whether it's Manny or one of the coordinators or multiple coordinators, something has to be done. Something has to be done. Um, Joshy J asks, what happened to the defense? Literally, they lack everything, including fundamentals. They can't tackle or cover. This is up there with Richmond and UNC Charlotte, all time pathetic.
Oh well, me and you ain't all that different, Joshy. I'll buy you a beer sometime, man. I said that exact thing earlier, so that's my answer. Scheme and it ain't no different than losing to those teams, man.
Not very. Tyler?
Yeah, it just some of it's inexperience, but a lot of it at this point falls on coaching. You can only chalk it up to inexperience for so long before like eventually it's like, all right, guys, figure it the fuck out. And part of that's on coaching. Like eventually you have to put your guys in position to succeed. And I don't feel like Duke's not doing a good enough job of masking the problems, and they're not doing a good enough job of like putting guys in the right spots.
Yeah, I agree. At some point, good coaching compensates for lack of experience. And we haven't seen that this year. And not to put people's business out there, but it's a similar sentiment to what's being shared among a lot of people close to the program. Not players, not staff, but yeah, people are getting fed up with some of the coaching problems. So we'll see. Our friend, close personal, sweet friend, the Duke of QP, says, I want to quit this Duke team. My goodness. We go into Death Valley. We beat Clemson playing their best, in Manny's words. And then we go to UConn and diarrhea standing up with pants on. We're gonna win the ACC, aren't we? Look, do I expect Duke to win the ACC? No. Will they? Probably not. Could they? Yes. And wouldn't that be the most Duke shit ever to shit the bed against Tulane, shit the bed against UConn, and then the lane opens up to go to the ACC championship game and they somehow win it against like Louisville or Pitt. Nobody that anybody thought was going to be in the championship game, mind you. Not Miami, not Georgia Tech. It's going to be like Duke and Louisville or Duke and Pitt. Something crazy.
Be the least viewed college football championship ever.
Yeah, it's looking like the NASCAR championship race, just like absolute gutter viewership.
And they're putting it on True TV East.
True TV Plus, not even like actual True TV. Yeah, no, I know. It's tough to quit them. It's like we get so frustrated and like people think again, like Noah said, people think that we hate this team or that we hate these players. We don't. We love this team. We love the school. Love this program. We're going to be there for all the games. I've got my ticket to UVA. We're going to be there. It's just when someone you love is pissing you off, you do something about it. When you know someone is capable of better, you talk about it. You want to do something about it.
Yeah, when your
Being
girlfriend keeps punching you, you probably need to do something about it.
yeah, it's you can love where you live and admit that it has problems and want to see those problems fixed. I think that pretending everything is okay and not ever critiquing, not ever demanding accountability, not ever demanding anything, that's being a bad fan. Not wanting the best or demanding the best from your program, that's being a bad fan. Contrary to what a lot of people want to say to us. That's all I have to say on that. Tyler, any thoughts?
I just hope the team has fun.
I agree.
Hope we're having fun, man.
Power
As
of
long as we're
friendship.
having fun and embracing the power of friendship.
The most Duke thing ever, and we've talked about this now for a few weeks too. Would have been losing the UConn game, winning the rest of the game, winning the ACC, and then missing the college football playoff.
Maybe probably the first and only team in the history of the playoff when it's all said and done to win their Power Four conference and be bad enough to not get seeded.
But that Would we be the first? Yeah, but would that be appropriate? Yes.
Yeah, well,
If
100%.
somehow Duke wins the championship, which I don't think is going to happen, we don't deserve the college football playoff, and I'm sick and tired of seeing Duke fans talk about it. We're not sniffing the playoffs. Stop talking about it. We don't have to worry about it. Best case scenario, we show up in the ACC championship game. I wish people would stop talking about the college football playoff. It's not happening.
The Scums will give you, um,
I will give you Noah's kidney if
yeah,
Duke football makes the playoff.
yeah. I don't need it. I
It
don't
just
fucking
gets in
need it.
it just gets in the way anyway. Um, Now that that tangent is over, our friend Derek Scott. Not even a question, but I just want to say I respect y'all for the fact that y'all can even do this after that shit show. Thanks, Derek.
Derek, you're
Love
one of the
you.
reasons we do this.
Isn't Derek coming down for UVA?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're probably gonna push another kid. That's
Yeah.
not cool, Derek.
Derek punches children. Scott, everybody be on the lookout.
Yeah. So the joke comes from the Illinois game. We're sitting there melting our asses off and losing big. And we're right on the aisle in GA. And this little girl comes like walking down the steps next to us. And then she falls. And I turn around and look, and our friend Derek is sitting right on the aisle. And I just go, Derek, what the hell? You pushed that kid? Not cool, man. Not cool. So we joke that Derek is a kid pusher, and he loves it. He thinks it's so
Derek's a
funny.
great dad, by the way.
He's a
Super
great
cool
dad. He
dude.
does
If you
not
ever
push
get to meet
kids.
Derek Scott, you're meeting a good dude. That's
He
for
doesn't
sure.
push kids, at least ones that aren't his own. Um, but yeah. Uh, Friends at Bull City coordinators. This is a weird year for the ACC with a lot of teams being very inconsistent. Tell me about it. I think Diaz needs to bring in a former head coach as a consultant to figure out how the team was so careful with the ball last year and so careless this year. He needs a head to toe WTF assessment. Hey, I know a great former head coach who could come in and do that. Old DC. Bring David Cutcliffe back to Duke on like an advisory role or something. Hell
Like,
yeah.
See,
Duke,
I'm going JG in that one. Give me Jason
Jason Garrett.
Garrett.
He
Fate of the
yearns for
world on the
Durham, dude.
line. Give me Jason Garrett.
I just think it's Duke football is so bad that it drug Ben back on Twitter.
It's pretty bad.
Duke football made Ben come back to Twitter because they were that bad this year.
Also, they're also so bad. Ben said if five people leave voicemails before Wednesday, he will drop a pod. So everybody, make sure you call the Bull City coordinator line and
And no profanity though.
leave your thoughts. Yeah, keep it clean though. He's a scumbag, but reputable channel.
Yeah, I left one yesterday morning, so we'll see.
I also have.
Our friend Jarrett says, I've avoided talking about this publicly, but it's time. At what point do we say you were right to Miami fans? I love Manny, but he's shown us he can't refocus the team after an emotional win or a tough loss. How can you win in Death Valley and then proceed to get handled at UConn? It's a good take.
Yeah, kind of like we touched on earlier, man. It's just that inconsistency of not being able to get your team up and going. Like that win against Clemson didn't mean shit, man. Like it meant nothing.
Just
Who
another conference win,
cares?
and that's about it.
Just another win, man. The next game is way more important against a better record team, a team that's bowl eligible.
UConn
That
probably beats Clemson.
I mean, yeah, Elon probably beats Clemson at this point. But yeah, it's hard to explain it because like I do like Manny as a coach, and I think he's a solid coach for Duke, but we're missing like this key aspect of just intensity. I feel like, which and Manny seems like a very lackadaisical guy, not in a bad way. He's very straight edge and straightforward, but that also shows, he might not get lazy daisy, but he doesn't get like up and going. So tough for sure.
Yeah, like, and I'm not trying to compare myself to Manny Diaz in any sense, but like coaches or teams are a reflection of the coach.
Yeah.
Like with how they play, how they perform, the personalities. Teams are a reflection of the coach. Manny Diaz is a guy that I don't want to say he doesn't care, but like a lot of times you don't see that fire in him on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Like the team is going to respond how he acts. Like I think that has something to do with it sometimes. And that's not gonna be like each coach is like different. Like, and as far as admitting the whole Miami fans are right thing, I still can't compare the two situations. Like Duke would kill for what Manny did at Miami in those 3 years. So it's like I said, I need to see this off season, and I need to see even if Duke doesn't necessarily fire anybody, switch up something, put different guys in different position groups, change up your coordinators. Something's got to change for me to be fully back in.
Yeah. Um, to your point, it's you said Duke would kill for what Miami did under Manny. Um, yes and no. I mean, they were 7-6, 6-7, 8-3, and 7-5 under Diaz. And that's really underperforming for what Miami is capable of. And honestly, I'll say it, that's underperforming for what Duke is capable of these days. Um, I think it's been a little bit of underperforming at both schools. Last year was really fucking weird. We fluked our way into 9 wins, and that was the worst 9-win team of all time. But I don't know. I know that when they announced Manny was the head coach at Duke, we got some Miami fans in our replies saying like, "Oh, good luck. Be prepared for this and that, this and that." I'm forgetting now exactly what they were saying, but
They
I
weren't
wish I
far off.
remembered.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
lack of
Um,
prep's what it comes down to. That's it.
our friend Sam asks if y'all could make any coaching staff firing today, would you? And if so, who? Also, if you have a realistic hire to replace them, who would it be?
Yes
Good
to
Sam,
all of
question.
them.
Sam, I've got three for you. I'll clear the board off. I'll clear the fucking board off, Sam. Defensive coordinator, you're gone, Packy. Give me Colin Hitchler. Last name a little iffy there with the woke mob and all that, but it's okay. He's DC at JMU. He was a analyst under Luke Fickell at Wisconsin and Cincinnati. After he graduated college, he went through the sewer with Fickell, and you know they just won a game with, I think, outscoring like an actual offensive touchdown up at Wisconsin. So, and JMU's got a great defense under this guy. So I think he really took what Fickle was about and implemented that where he is. And now he's gotten his coordinator spot. OC, Jordan Davis, North Texas. I mean, that's enough said. They run the ball well. They throw the ball well. He's young. He's hip. He's cool. He recruits well. He needs to be at a P4. And last but not least, I wouldn't get rid of Diaz this year, but if this was next year, I'm canning Diaz. Give me Eric Morris, also the head coach at North Texas. Jake Dickert's the legacy hire, but we'll never get Jake after what he did last week.
Noah can prepare for that one.
Oh yeah, I love that question,
To,
Sam. I appreciate it.
to be different from Noah, I'll go to other ones. One of them has to happen, and that's special teams. Um, give me Brent Pry, and then or Shane Beamer. Shane would never take that. I think Brent Pry we could actually maybe pull into that for like a year.
At
The other,
special teams?
yeah, O line coach. No disrespect to Coach Norrid, I think he's doing an okay job. Sam Pittman's on the market. Give me Sam Pittman to come coach Duke's O line for 1 year. That man likes football and a cold beer. That's all he cares about. That man is an O line coach by trade. He like had Georgia tearing it up. Arkansas didn't work out. He's just not the head coach kind of guy. Bring me Sam Pittman to come coach the O line.
I like it. I like the energy. Uh, our friend Jousey just simply states, I'm gonna do it.
I tell you what,
Aptly
he's
put,
go
no,
ahead.
well, oh, I was
Go.
just gonna say aptly put, Jousey. He's between landing planes for free right now and Duke football pissing him off. He's being put through the ringer right now.
Yeah, we got the Scum Fund me up. If message us if you feel bad, we'll send you Jelsey's way. He's air traffic controller, who's flown from LA to Duke twice this year to watch Duke play. One of the coolest guys you'll meet. Super glad we've got him in the Scum community now. But Man, oh man, that's he's nail on the head for sure.
Yeah, hate it
Yeah, I mean,
for him.
I'd tell him it gets better, but it's probably better to go ahead and cut your losses.
Um, our friend Mensa Maniac says we're all down right now on the whole situation, and it's clear that change needs to be made in the coaching staff. But can we all take a step back and analyze the situation big picture? Non-cons that aren't your rival slash Furman in November is shit. Um, Cutcliffe left. There was talent, but everyone knew it was time for a fresh start. The way Elko this is a long fucking thread, dude. Um, the way Elko left caused everyone to rally around a new situation. Getting rid of Diaz would be back to square one, and the biggest selling point to a coach is the fact that there is not pressure. Getting rid of Diaz after 2 years takes that selling point away. No one expected a bowl last season, and most people outside of Duke fans expected anything more than 6 or 7 wins in the season. When are we going to acknowledge that last year's defense was bent, don't break? And if you actually look at the numbers, Duke's defense wasn't dominant. They were just very opportunistic with a bit of luck thrown in. I'd take that over whatever the hell we have now.
Yeah, I'll take luck.
This defense for the past 2 years goes to the next level when a big play happens. Look at Syracuse, Cal, and the domination of State near the end of the half. Fair points. And bottom line, our defense, especially linebacker, is decimated not only from a talent standpoint, but on field leadership. If there is a plan and something better than Diaz comes along, great, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm on the fire. I don't think anybody should be on the fire Diaz train this year for sure.
Not yet. Hold your fire. Stand
Yep.
back and stand by.
Stand back, stand by, keep your guns loaded, keep them cleaned.
Yeah.
Eat a couple MREs, hang out. We'll see.
As as far as the thing he made about the defense, I brought that up yesterday, I think, and it was like, look, but that's the go back to Eli's point about the havoc defense. That's Manny's defense is predicated on you're gonna give up yards, but you're gonna either force a tackle for loss, a big sack, or a turnover to negate all the yards you give up. Duke's not doing any of those three right now, so
We're just giving up yards.
yeah, like to his point, like yes, it like turnovers. You're not going plus what was it like plus 18 in turnover margin last year. That's just not achievable back to back. Like you're going to regress to the means in some degree. But in terms of sacks and tackles for loss, no reason you can't get close to that number again. So like that's the thing is like yes, he's right in the sense of like yeah, Duke's giving up yards at the same rate kind of. We're not getting stopped, but it's also like it's not just luck that's attributed to it. Like, the defensive line sucks. They're not holding up. Like they should still be able to get a few sacks on big third downs. We should be able to get some big tackles for loss on first and second down. It's just not there at all.
Agreed. Our friend Lee Shepard says, look, I'm not happy. I feel like we're wasting some of our players' best years, but this is Manny's second year, not his 10th. Give him some grace. See what he does in the offseason with coaching changes. I still believe he could be great at Duke, but coaching is suspect. We must beat UNC. Wake will not be an easy win either. We must make a bowl game with the players we have, or Manny might have to make some changes across the board with his assistants. I think changes with his assistants have to be made regardless. Also, on the point of Wake will not be easy, I'm going to say it. I don't think Carolina's going to be easy.
They're rolling right
Carolina
now a little
is,
bit.
huh?
They're rolling right now a little bit.
Yeah, they're
Starting to
they're
figure it
not
out.
the same Carolina team as the weeks 1 or 2. They've got a couple conference wins now. They should have beat UVA. They should have 3 conference wins in a row right now. Plus, you know how these games with Carolina go. It doesn't matter how good one team is or the other team is. They're always weird. It's always a dogfight. So I wouldn't count the Carolina game out either. None of these games are going to be gimmies, these remaining 3. Um, friend Brian Jones, the founder of the Rolling Stones, says, what happened to the defense? We stopped them on first possession and not one time after that. We give up 3rd and 10 from the 1 yard line. They seemed very unprepared for what they were facing. Very disappointing. Correct.
Yeah, said it 100 times already. That just no preparation, no good schemes. That's what's going on with the defense.
Next question. Thomas Sporn. We got a lot of people leaving questions who don't typically leave us questions, so this has been good. We're
Make
almost
sure
there,
you follow us,
fellas.
by the way, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say we're
follow
gonna
us if you don't already.
yeah we're gonna have to start screening these for people that follow us.
Come to the scums, bruh.
Yeah. Thomas Sporn says, well, at least no one's going to be talking about Mensa and Diaz leaving for the SEC or the Big Ten anytime soon. Mensa, yes, they will.
He's a
Manny, no, they won't.
Mitchell will be heading to the NFL. He's an NFL scout guy. They're eating him up right now. That money will supersede what college will give him.
Um, Lion to the Devil says 1-3 in non-con, and the one win is Elon. Two losses to non-P4 opponents. 103rd in the country in defensive efficiency. Feels like that's grounds to clean house, but also with so many open coaching spots at more attractive programs, can we even get anyone better? At the very least, at the OC or DC positions. Tyler, let's hear from you.
I mean, there's definitely upgrades you can get at offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. They might not be flashy names, like they might not be, household names, but there's always an upgrade. Like that's just the nature of football. There's always something better. That's why that upgrading the head coaches. I mean, that depends on how you look at it. Like Duke's gotten back to back big names. Like I get Manny isn't like a Nick Saban, but Manny Diaz is still a big name in football. You're a defensive coordinator at Penn State and had the number one defense in the country. I just wherever Duke goes next with head coach, this is if Manny leaves this year or in 10 years. I want someone that's already been a head coach in the current landscape of football. Yes, Manny had been a head coach at Miami. Manny had been a head coach in today's college football. Like 2019 college football isn't even remotely the same game as it is today. So wherever Duke goes next, it needs to be someone that's been there before. I don't care who that is, but that's where it needs to go. Someone that's already done it.
Well stated, Tyler. A friend, Milo, he says, how many years do we give Manny here? I think Pat Key is gone. Brewer seems to have a grasp on things for the most part, but I don't think Manny is gone this year. But do we give him one more year or two?
I mean, you give them the ball.
One, god damn it, we've answered this question 30 times. Fuck, we gotta screen these next time so this pod's not 2 hours long. Jesus Christ.
It's just 2 hours of us going 1 year, 1 year, 1 year.
1 year,
I mean,
two
fucking
hours.
A.
Uh, Last question. We made it. Esto Benignus, whatever that. I don't. Maybe I'm mispronouncing that. I was at the Clemson game, which, while dope, immediately felt or immediately made me feel that we would shit the bed at UConn, and we did. How do we go from having a defense that was always there to this? I was at the SMU game. It was all we had. How cooked are we? 5-7? Do real changes happen this offseason? We're not talking changes. We've talked changes already, but 5-7 is on the table. 8-4 is on the table. 5-7 is on the table. We don't know. It's wide open. It's the 2025 ACC. Anything's possible.
Yeah,
All
well
right.
said.
Mailbag is concluded. Thank you guys for your participation. Now we are going to move on to ACC Roundup. Tyler, take us into ACC Roundup.
Yeah, I mean, it was still a good week for Duke in the ACC, all things
That's
considered.
the thing. We got really lucky. Sorry to interrupt. We got lucky.
Yeah, in 2 games, we really got big time. We got some major help. Um, like I said, Duke still controls their path to Charlotte. UNC beat Stanford 20-15. Look, it was a lot. It was a lot more lopsided than that. Stanford scored like 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes. Carolina's allowed 17 points in their last 23 quarters on defense, by the way. So
That's scary if you're a Duke fan.
they are like, I know everyone's gonna remember them for the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season. Like they are improving. I don't think they're very good, but like they are not a pushover. Like they're a solid team.
Yeah.
Um,
I was at the Carolina UVA game a couple weeks ago, and that's the thing. If they had any kind of offense at all, they would have beat the shit out of UVA because their defense was with them all game. That's a solid defense right there that I'm not thrilled about seeing in a couple weeks.
it's going to be interesting. Cal goes into Louisville, beats them 29-26 in overtime. That was a really big one for Duke. That eliminates another team that had one conference loss, which bumps them down to two. Wake rolled into Charlottesville and beat UVA 16-9. If Chandler Morris doesn't get hurt, Virginia probably wins the game. But oh well, he got hurt. So Wake helps us out, but also kind of hurts us because I think Wake's got two conference losses. Okay, I thought they only had one. They've got two. They lost to State and FSU. Yeah, Miami beat Syracuse 38-10. Who gives a shit? Boy, me and Noah couldn't have been more wrong on this one. SMU 45, Boston College 13. We were all in on Boston College, but holy shit!
God fucking damn, man, they
Oh
suck.
my god,
They are awful. They got a lot more problems than we do.
yeah, folks, remember that at the end of the day, it could be worse. We could be Boston College.
We used to
Um,
be Boston College.
yeah, like it's bad, man.
Oh, we were worse.
Yeah, Boston College probably beat those two teams by 50 still.
Yeah.
And then Clemson 24, FSU 10. Noah was right. Media days, he called it out. He was like Mike Norvell screaming at everybody, yelling at everybody. That man's fighting for his job. Well, he lost his job
I
pretty much.
told the world on
Wait, was
I
he
told the
actually
world.
fired? Did I miss that?
No,
No,
but he's
but
going to be.
yeah, it's almost a foregone. FSU came out like 3 weeks ago and said we're going to reevaluate things at the end of the season, which
I pretty much just said, fans, hold on, we're gonna fire him.
yeah, that's pretty much FSU saying just get to the off season, and then he did that after losing to Clemson by 14. Yeah,
Yeah, that douchebag yelled at me and Tyler at media days, and along with like 40 other people in there. But he was just
But mostly us
screaming.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was just screaming, man, about how everybody wrote them off, but Florida State ain't writing back, buddy. You wrote back in bold ink. Y'all are ass. Suck. All capital letters.
yeah, Norvell's gone. There's just it's not official, but it's official. So yeah, like I said, another good week for Duke in the ACC. They thought they could kill Coastal Chaos. Jokes on them. We merged with the Pac-12, but now it's Pac-12 After Dark and Coastal Chaos, and it's created just the most beautifully ugly thing you've ever witnessed in your life this
They
year.
killed the man, but not the idea.
It's an inbred step cousin uncle of like college football, dude. It's fucked up.
All
Um,
right, guys, best bets. Noah, talk to us about the best bets.
I personally made a lot of coin last week. Thank you, Jake Dickert. Thank you, Wake Forest. I that was real fun. And I called it that morning. Tyler can attest. I texted the group chat. I was like, put a unit on Dickert money line and over. And
I saw the slip.
buddy, cha-ching. One of the biggest hits I've had in a long time. That one felt good. We went 4-5 on the week. We're back to back kind of cold weeks. We fought back to 500 this past week. We're 46-40 on the year, looking to get right this week. I've got I've got Louisville -3 on Friday night against Clemson. Get back game, Clemson hangover game after beating Florida State. I've got Pitt +11.5 versus Notre Dame after Narduzzi said, I don't care if we lose by 100. That damn near makes me want to take Pitt's money line versus Notre Dame. And then I've got Bama -6.5 versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma is about to get bounced from the playoff conversation this week. Bama is about to cement themselves for the SEC championship. And then my personal money line this week, I have Memphis +120 over Eastern Carolina.
Yeah, I like those. I took. Let's see, what I lose on last week. USC -14.5 hit. Purdue +29.5 was a sweat, but they backdoored that one. UCLA -1.5 against Nebraska. I'd take again UCLA at home without Raiola playing. I'd bet that every time. Uh, Mizzou money line against A&M. Yeah, A&M's a wagon. I keep telling myself they're in the letdown spot, and A&M just keeps fucking rolling, man. Like I'm not betting against them the rest of the year. Um, this week I'm rolling with. Last week was Fade Northwestern. This week we're telling Northwestern. I don't really think they'll beat Michigan, but 11.5 is a good number. So Northwestern +11.5 with Michigan. Michigan doesn't blow anybody out. Going to regret taking this one. I already know that's going to be the one that loses. LSU minus 4.5 against Arkansas, and what might be the just who wants it less game of the century. Um, Rolling with the Hilltoppers. Western Kentucky. I hadn't bet on Big Red in a while. Western Kentucky minus 13.5 against Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee is just like they're bad. And then I'm gonna regret this. Poor Coach Simmons. I'm sorry in advance. Every time I've done this, you've lost. I'm like 0-3 with this one. FIU money line plus 120 against Liberty. It's gotta work eventually.
Something's
Eventually,
gonna fall.
yeah, something's gotta fall.
I hit on them last week. They were like minus 108, but they were underdogs because the favorite was like a minus 112. But
Yeah, they beat
that
good.
was they were like plus 1.5, so some good value on that one this
Yeah,
past weekend.
they beat good.
But the scum money line this week, dun dun dun, Virginia Tech Hokies, a lot of value, plus 425 versus Florida State. I don't know if Vegas just quit watching or something. I know Virginia Tech sucks, but like Florida State's truly awful. Like Tech rolls, go get it done.
Yeah, I'm
FSU
all.
is just a weird team this year. Like we thought they were back. We thought they were all the way back, and they are indeed not back at
Yeah,
all.
People forget that FSU beat Alabama by 14 in week one. And like,
Yeah, dude. I thought they were all the way back.
And if they were playing next week, that game would be 63 to negative
oh
7. You
yeah,
know what I
it's
mean? Just fucking ridiculous how
Negative
college
seven.
football is.
Um, all right. Here we go. UVA
Fellas,
preview. Oh, sorry.
I've got to take a work call real quick, so I'm gonna just give my prediction and hop off. I've got UVA 34, Duke 27. Still gonna be cheering for them
Prove
boys,
us
but
wrong.
hey,
Prove us wrong.
appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate y'all boys. Y'all have a good one.
All right, bye, Noah. And then number two. All right, here we go. UVA preview. Head coach Tony Elliott is in his fourth year. He's at 19 and 25 in his tenure with the Hoosiers. They are the no. Who are the
no, they're the Cavaliers.
Cavaliers?
Everyone
Holy
calls them the
hell,
Whoppers.
dude! First time I've had beer while doing one of these pods in a long time, so I'm throwing off a little bit.
Blame it on Eli.
Um, huh?
Blame it on Eli.
Yeah, blame it on Eli. All time, nothing new here. We are 34 and 41 against UVA. We do have a winning record against UVA at home, 19 and 14 all time, but we're 2 and 8 over the last 10 matchups. So UVA's kind of had our number for a while. They had played every single year from 63 to 2023. I was at that last matchup in 2023 in UVA. Ugh.
Ugh.
Beautiful campus, great stadium, great vibes, great views. What a gross game that was. Just nothing going on. That's when the rumors about Elko leaving were really starting to swirl. I forget, was that the week before or after the UNC game, Tyler?
That was. I want to say it was before. I could be wrong. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
I think it was after. I think it was the second to last game
After
and
that,
Wake.
we played
No.
them and played Pitt the next week. I
Yeah,
think you're right.
it went Wake, UNC, UVA, Pitt. Yeah, that was gross. They are somehow 8-2 on this season. I've been saying it all year. I don't think they're that elite. I think they beat a fraudulent FSU team earlier in the season when they were still ranked in overtime, and they've kind of rode that ranking throughout the season. They've been consistent. I'll give them that. They didn't lose until this year in conference or this past week, but I don't know, man. I don't think they're that good. But hey, watch me eat my words this weekend.
Yeah, well,
Um,
I'll jump in on that one real quick
yeah, go
because,
ahead.
like, I've said this 1,000 times. This Virginia team is last year's Duke. You're going to look at their record at the end of the year and be like, oh, wow, they're a 9-3 football team. You watch them play and you're like, oh my God, they're awful. Like they've been very lucky at times. They beat Florida State by 6 in double overtime. They beat Louisville by 3 in overtime. They beat Washington State by 2. They beat UNC by 1 in overtime. They beat Cal by 10, but they had a pick six in the last 5 seconds, so they beat Cal by 3. They just lost to Wake by 7. It's very much like Duke last year.
Yeah.
not great football team, but like they just scrape out like really close, ugly football games.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
like to your point, look at Chandler Morris's stats: 2,200 yards, 12 TDs, which isn't great. 5 picks. That's not a great stat line. Uh, he is questionable for this Saturday. I don't know what happened to him. I saw the hit, but I didn't. Was it his head?
yeah, they still haven't said anything about it, but I would assume with the line that Vegas had out there to open, I think Vegas is assuming he doesn't play because I assume it's something with a concussion. But they haven't said anything still officially about him, so I assume he's quote questionable.
Yeah. I will say though, their running back, Jamari Taylor, 169 yards, 780 no carries, 169 carries, 784 yards, 11 TDs. That's a pretty solid stat line. He's pretty good. Um, the receiver Terrell Harris, 43 receptions, 605 yards, 4 TDs. Not bad. That's a pretty good stat line to this point in the season. Tyler, talk about their defense here.
I mean, their defense is kind of similar to their offense. They don't really blow you away in any aspect. One thing about their offense, I forgot to put this on the offensive part. Um, they've only allowed 15 sacks all season, so like their offensive line is solid. Um, but their defense only has 24 sacks on the year, so like not great. Um, Defensive lineman Daniel Rickert leads the team with 5.5 sacks, 27 tackles. They've got 10 interceptions. Jason Pavard has three of them, five PBUs. Linebacker Cam Robinson, the dude's a stud. He's going to play in the pros one day. He's only a sophomore, by the way. He's their best player, I think, on the whole team, offense or defense. Leads the team in tackles. He's got 64 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, 3 pass breakups. The dude's everywhere. Um, and just dive into the numbers a little bit. UVA scores 33 a game, gives up 21 points. Um, they
That'd be
average 400.
nice.
Yeah, they average 427 yards per game. They allow 328. Duke fans, cover your ears because these two numbers are not what we needed to hear. UVA's third down offense, they are 76 for 180. They convert 48% of their third downs this year offensively.
Fuck.
That is not very good. Even worse, arguably, Virginia's third down defense. They have only allowed a conversion 39 out of 136 attempts. So 29% of the time you get a conversion on them on third down.
Ugh.
And the most damning stat of all, because we know how first quarter Duke the last 2 weeks is
Been the
kind of,
only good quarter, Duke.
yeah, they've kind of proven wrong. And then they just, the second quarter has become new first quarter Duke. But UVA in the first quarter is outscoring teams 93-28. So like they like to come out fast and jump on you early, and then after that they don't really outscore teams by much in any quarter. But first quarter Virginia is a wagon. So I mean they're just, and here's the other thing, Virginia, I forget what the number was. I remember we talked about it some at media days, but I think they're they're one of the top three oldest teams in the ACC. Like in terms of the guys they added, what they bring back, like they're a very old football team. Similar to how Duke was similar to Duke last year. Duke was a very old football team. So like experience matters a lot in this one. Um, I don't think Tony Elliott's a great head coach by any means. Um, it's still fuck him for what he did to Duke. We still won that battle, even though Elko's gone. We won that trade. I'll give
Yeah.
mine real quick. I just call me negative. Actually, you know what? Because I'm on the train of I had us winning 7, 8 games. I Duke's got to get right on this one. And again, it's going to be so on brand for Duke to win these next two, beat UVA, beat UNC. We roll into Wake with a chance to clinch. Wake rolls into Durham with a chance to clinch the ACC for Duke, and then Duke will lay an egg against Wake, and that's how the season will explode.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think Duke's going to throttle Virginia. I think Duke's going to win like 45-20. I just I don't I think it's a mixture of Duke was kind of holding out last week, I think somewhat intentionally, somewhat non-intentionally. If Morris plays, I don't think that really affects the game much. Like,
He's not like an X factor at all.
yeah,
He's not Darian.
I think Duke wins with or without Chandler Morris playing. Like Morris doesn't play, Duke wins 45-20. Morris plays, Duke wins 45-27. Like
Well,
it's not a big difference.
I posted it during when I was at the Carolina UVA game. I posted like it was some of the sorriest QB. It was like the weakest QB matchup I've seen in a long time. It was like Gio Lopez versus Chandler Morris, and it was like coughing baby versus coughing baby. It was just weak on both sides. Um,
My lone concern is going to be the offensive line, Virginia's offensive line against our defensive line.
yeah,
But I'm going to trust that like VJ and Wes and them after just getting shut out against UConn get pissed off and hopefully just someone's going to get back there a few times against Virginia. So
got to.
I'm going 45-20. I think Duke's going to boat race them.
I sure hope so. God, Tyler's a resident optimist, which leaves me to be negative again. I just Duke has a lot of talent. They've shown flashes. They're scoring like 45 points a game most times. It's just the defense can't figure it out. And I think if Duke wins this game, I think it'll be close. So against my better judgment, I'll predict Duke to win this week. I've got Duke winning it 38-34. 30-34 Duke. Bunch of field goals mixed in there for both teams. 38-34. That's my prediction.
Yeah, like I said, I think call me, it feels weird to be the lone optimistic one. That's an odd feeling to be, and I don't like it necessarily. So Duke's probably getting, you know what this means? Duke's getting ready to lose by like 80, man.
Oh yeah.
I'm optimistic about this. Duke is so fucked.
Bronco Mendenhall is reincarnated.
Oh God, I just it's one of those things where, like if Duke can't get fired up and like your whole season's in front of you now, you laid an egg against UConn. If you can't come out against a banged up UVA team who just lost to weight and like play inspired, like you just throw in the towel the rest of the year.
Yeah. It's over. It's cooked at that point.
Like this has, and stop me if we've heard this before. This has all the makings for like this to be the win that gets Duke on track. But again, Manny hasn't beat a top 25 team since he got to Duke. Somehow Virginia stayed ranked in the top 25 this week, so that'll be interesting to pay
Duke will
attention.
finish him off if they win.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like that, they did that on purpose. They knew Manny couldn't beat a top 25 team at Duke, so they left UVA in just to screw us.
Yep.
No, UVA will beat Duke, and then they'll drop them out this week.
Yeah, correct. Well, if you guys made it this far, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying with us. Don't forget to drop some comments, some likes, share this with your friends. If you're a parent, share this with the other parents, your family. Um, but yeah, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as they say. Share this with your friends. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Get to Wallace Wade if you can this weekend. Sources tell me that we will have rally towels this weekend. So get out there, get yourself one. It's employee day. Tickets are very cheap and affordable, even more cheap and accessible than usual. Um, get to Wallace Wade. That's all I ask. Be loud. Stand up and make noise on first, second, and third down, not
On
just third
defense,
down.
on
On when
defense,
Duke is on defense, not on offense,
please clarify.
please. Because unfortunately, we do need to clarify. Um, but yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Tyler, any parting thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is the home stretch for Duke. We've got a shot. It's all right in front of us. We got a shot to get to Charlotte. A really good shot. A very good shot to get to Charlotte and win the ACC still.
The lane has opened up. It's just will Duke take it? These are three very winnable games here. However, with the way the season has gone, they're also three very losable games.
And yeah, just, shout out everyone that interacts with us in the pod every week, and all the people that come out to our tailgates and the parents and stuff. Go Duke. Here we go.
Well put. We'll see you guys next week.